No, it's not that I'm waiting for your answer. I'm really overwhelmed by emotion. Pastor Jobst, thank you for inviting me and for giving me an opportunity to share some thoughts today. It's a great honor and privilege, more than you know. But I have a confession. Before we met in September, I was more than a little nervous and uncomfortable. It was my first visit to Germany, and as an Ashkenazi Jew, dozens of whose relatives were murdered in the Holocaust, I knew that my trip to Germany was important, but I was also very uneasy. Because of meeting you and many people like you, I left Germany hopeful and inspired. Simply articulating that to many of my Jewish friends here made many of them uncomfortable. But I felt that it was my responsibility to communicate that, to bear witness to the phenomena that you represent and what you're doing specifically through your ministry. 2 weeks after my return, Israel suffered the most gruesome, savage attack on the Jewish people since the Holocaust, making you and your church, the March of the Nations, the March of Life, and all of your ministry that much more important. In 1961, nobody who was here in this building could ever imagine that during the Eichmann trial, we would be standing here today with you, not a German on trial for masterminding an actual genocide and crimes against humanity, but with people from countless nations organized by friends from Germany. Very good friends, standing here together with Israel and the Jewish people. This year, sadly, it's all the more significant. Your love, your support, your mission, and the redemptive nature of all of this, today and for future generations, gives hope to me, Israelis and Jews all over the world. It's not like we didn't need that before October 7th, but today, just the ability to be hopeful while at war with nations rising up against us is noteworthy. For a nation and a people still in grief and mourning, with major threats still facing us, your visit here is a great consolation and reminds us that we are not alone. The actual list of who we can trust and call allies, much less good friends, is growing shorter and shorter every day. Your presence here today, this week, this year, show that all hope is not lost. It's a necessary reaffirmation that we, Jews and Christians, who worship and serve a covenant-keeping God, who will not abandon his people, and who will bless those who know good from evil and bless us. The Eichmann trial was also so important that it was televised, not just in Israel, but broadcast internationally, to bear witness to the fact of the crimes committed against the Jewish people by Nazi Germany throughout Europe. Bearing witness was and remains incredibly important. But the Eichmann trial also gave voice to survivors, most of whom, for many reasons, did not and could not share the unspeakable horrors that they had suffered and witnessed 2 decades earlier. Today, the March of the Nations serves as a different kind of international broadcast. You bring a message of solidarity to Israel. Amid the Jewish people, you provide comfort, you bear witness, and you affirm what we know to be true, that those who defy the will of the God of Israel are destined to the dustbin of history. This was true in September when we met, the last time the March of Nations convened here in Israel, and in all of your marches across the globe. But it's especially true now, especially today, and especially here. The first commandment that God gave to the first Jew in Genesis 12 was Lech Lecha, go forth from your land, from your homeland, from your father's house, to the land that I will show you. Lech is the root of the word lalechet, to walk, or in this case, to march. By coming here, by marching this week, you affirm that. But the commandment to go to a new land also evokes disassociation from where you're coming from. In the case of Abraham, it was an idolatrous society. Even if it doesn't feel like it, perhaps it was much harder for Abraham to be the first person to affirm the truth of one God. But today, we who know the true God stand challenged in the face of evil. By being here, by marching here, you affirm that your past is not your present and is not your future. It should be an easier task for us, even if it doesn't feel like it today. I pray that countless Israelis and Jews all over the world will see today what you represent as we stand here together, as we walk together, and we build a future together. And I pray that countless Christians all over the world will see the same and join you. God bless you.